I'm Kamali, taking you through some of the things people are talking about and some of the stuff they're sharing around the world on NewsFeed today.
President Trump, Vice President Biden, it's been an interesting hour and a half.
Trump versus Biden, the reviews are in. Oh boy, we'll show you how bad it was. And we'll try and round up the collective. What the hell did we just watch? The sit-in continues in Budapest. We'll have the latest and the reasons students at an arts university are protesting. And some bad news for those of you who are working from home due to the COVID-19 lockdown. And top of our newsfeed, the debate. Oh man, widely regarded as the worst the United States has ever seen, kind of in keeping with the year we've been having. Serious commentators have described it as sad, chaotic, full of lies and misinformation and half-truths. Now, someone on YouTube described it as two old guys in a retirement home arguing over who gets the last chocolate pudding, which would be unfair to anyone in a retirement home who really wants that last chocolate pudding. Did you watch? No? Well, fear not. We did a supercut.
Did you use the word smart?
This is so unprecedented.
Did you use the word smart? Smart? It's fake news. Did you use the word smart?
It's hard to get any word in with this clown. Inject some bleach, inject some bleach, inject some bleach.
It's fake news. Did you use the word smart? I don't want to pay tax.
You're the worst president America has ever had.
It's fake news. It's fake news. Did you use the word smart?
Well, he just shush for a minute. Keep yapping, man. That was really a productive segment, wasn't it?
Now, one of the truly remarkable things about that debacle is the way people in the news media responded to it. Some so blown away, they ended up swearing on live television.
I think one of the questions we're all asking tonight is, can we really have two more of these debates with the type of behavior that was displayed tonight?
I found it at times painful to watch and very difficult to watch.
That was a hot mess inside a dumpster fire, inside a train wreck.
Say it like it is. That was show. I cannot imagine what a lesser moderator will have to do to themselves before or after to tame these baboons.
These were not two untested politicians up there winging it. One of these people is the President of the United States. That is humiliating for us as a country.
I think that the country would be better served if we allowed both people to speak with fewer interruptions. I'm appealing to you, sir, to do.
Well, and him too.
Well, frankly, you've been doing more interrupting
That's
than
all
he
right,
has.
but he does plenty.
And right proud
boys, stand back and stand by.
Meanwhile, in a different part of the planet, or perhaps on another planet, two politicians vying for control of New Zealand also had a debate in the last 24 hours. Jacinda Ardern, the current Prime Minister, and the woman who wants her job, Judith Collins, went head to head. It wasn't quite as mad, but it had its viral moments, especially this bit.
Judith Collins, have you ever used cannabis?
No, I have not.
Jacinda Ardern, have you ever used cannabis?
Yes, I did, a long time ago.
That I will be voting against the legalisation of the sale and recreational use of cannabis in our country. I want to protect the mental health, particularly of young people.
So you're voting no?
And I'm voting no.
Okay.
I made a clear decision that I want the public of New Zealand to decide this, and I want this not to be about politics.
Yes or no, how are you voting in the referendum?
Answer.
And I'll be giving my answer after the election, after New Zealand has decided.
So you...
Let's take a look at some of the other things that caught our eye on social media. Well, to some British politics now, and the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rishi Sunak, has been signing off his tweets which promote his economic policies to deal with the pandemic. The Labour Party has taken those tweets and put them on Facebook and used the same format to try and criticise him. This is the promotional video for a new product called Amazon One. You're expected to input your palm print onto Amazon servers and wave your hand like a Jedi to buy things. It's the latest use of biometric data and will of course have privacy advocates concerned. But if you use your face or your thumb to open your phone, you're kind of halfway there anyways. And a UK business is touting this thing to the emergency services. They're made by a company called Gravity Industries. Bit on the nose, don't you think? As you can see, paramedics kitted out like a first-generation Iron Man. And as in this test, they fly up the side of a mountain. The suit costs $438,000, so don't expect your local EMT to have one anytime soon. Now, students at an arts university in Hungary aren't happy with their government, so they've been staging a mass sit-in since the beginning of the month. Louis got that story.
They are in it for the long haul. Students and staff at Hungary's top arts university are rebelling against control of the institution by Prime Minister Viktor Orbán's right-wing government. It's been a month since students at the University of Theatre and Film Arts began the sit-in.
We are able to act. I think the blockade is as strong as ever. As for the future, we hope they will listen to us and that there will be some change. This blockade will remain until our demands are met.
In late August, the university management resigned after the government picked a new board of trustees. It was seen by Orbán's opponents as the latest step in his campaign to reshape Hungary's public life to fit his own nationalist and culturally conservative agenda.
It is very hard to deny that this is very much part of the cultural war the so-called right conservative politicians declared. And of course, those politicians use loads of war metaphors.
The 155-year-old institution, which has produced Oscar-winning directors and cinematographers, also plans to strike on Thursday. The students and staff have received support from abroad, from the likes of Ian McKellen, Kate Blanchett, and Eva Green, encouraging them to sit firm and keep on suffering for their art.
All right, around the world now for some other stories that you need to know this Wednesday. Well, in Japan, lawyers for a man who killed people after contacting them on Twitter says his sentence for their murders should be reduced because they'd expressed suicidal thoughts on social media. The man charged with killing them said he would help his victims to die. He also cut up the bodies and kept parts of them in cool boxes. He's confessed to killing 9 people. The Royal Botanic Gardens at Kew in the UK says 2 out of every 5 plants on the planet are at risk of extinction. The State of the World's Plants and Fungi report lays out how remiss humanity has been in keeping the Earth biodiverse. It says 4,000 new species were discovered last year and that the answers to our problems could well be all around us. But as we're destroying that flora and fauna at an alarming rate, we could miss out on what's right under our noses. Joshua Wong has been bailed. He was arrested for demonstrating in violation of a mask law in Hong Kong. Wong is one of the most prominent faces of the Hong Kong protests. He wants more democracy on the island and less control from China. Hong Kong officially becomes a part of China in 2047. And Disney say they are making a prequel to The Lion King. It'll be directed by Barry Jenkins and written by Jeff Nathanson. He's the guy who wrote the original. No detail on the plot yet, but some predicting it will tell us how Mufasa became king, why Scar was passed over, and hopefully there'll be a big reveal as to why Timon and Pumbaa turned their back on the world after the world turned its back on them. No release date yet. Well, next, if you've been enjoying working from home to avoid getting COVID-19 in the office, you may want to take a look at this. All that sitting around watching Netflix while pretending to do your work may have a downside. Here's Akanksha.
COVID-19 lockdowns have many of us spending a lot more time at home. And some studies have shown that life in confinement can take a toll on your body. While it can take months to build muscle, it takes just a week to lose it. Inactivity leads to loss of muscle mass. That means it makes us weaker, and strength is directly connected to longevity. The stronger we stay, the longer we'll live. Lack of exercise means the heart is not pumping as hard and gets weaker. Our lungs are similarly affected. And what's worse and a little ironic is that poor lung function increases susceptibility to COVID-19. Doctors recommend home strength training to keep their organs shipshape. Without the constraints of workplace routine, the window within which people are likely to eat increases from 10-12 hours to 15 hours a day. Eating larger quantities of more highly processed, non-perishable foods, which a lot of people stocked up on at the beginning of the pandemic, causes insulin levels to spike. That in turn encourages fat storage and leads to weight gain. Something we often don't think about during long hours of work at home is posture. Working from the couch or even from bed seems like bliss, but it's terrible for the body's mechanics. Slumping forward or sideways, curling the spine and bending the neck can play havoc with your neck, shoulders, and hips. Doctors recommend a proper home setup and regular breaks to walk around and stretch. A sedentary life can also slow down brain function. Exercise produces chemicals in the brain that breaks down harmful toxins in the blood. If the toxins aren't broken down, they can accumulate in the brain and slow it down. These symptoms come on slowly and often aren't apparent until they are quite advanced. But they contribute to the pandemic's real cost to health. Keeping on top of mental and physical health while stuck at home is a challenge. But to avoid permanent health damage, it's a vital one.
And last up, to Japan, where this happened. Yes, the Japanese made a real-life Gundam part of a theme park called the Gundam Factory Yokohama. There it is, doing what looks like some kind of lunge. It's 18 meters tall and weighs 25 tons. Now, we're told it hasn't been programmed to destroy, but hey, it's 2020. Who knows what this thing could do next? And that will be all from the NewsFeed team. Reach out to me with your questions, comments, complaints, and suggestions. You'll find me at Kamali Melbourne on Twitter. You'll find us on YouTube. Do subscribe to our channel, and I will see you again tomorrow.